Yo, I'm DaVinci. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of show you how to make a beat with a sample. A sample you already have, a sample you like. You can put it together, make a beat with it, right? So, we're going to do it in this order. We're going to find and chop the sample. We're going to then sample it after, kind of get it in our sequencer. We get the speed in, put the hi-hats in, and then we put the drums in. So that's how we're going to do it. So, let's go. So here's a sample that I kind of want to work with. It's the beginning of this track.
Hands up. If you're with me, put your hands up.
Jeez. Right.
Hands up.
You can hear what that's going to be like, right? All right, cool. So we find a sample. We have to cut it up and get the kind of bits that we need, yeah? And so what I'm going to do is take it, drag it straight from here into the program. I'm using Logic. You can use any program you want. And kind of cut it into the size I need it to be. And then find the speed, so. This is the program. Here's a sample in the program. So what we're going to do now is find the speed it needs to be. I'm going to make a little loop, which is going to be about 4 bars. And if it doesn't loop properly, then we'll know it's out of time. Well, that loops way too quickly, so I know that the track's too quick. So let me slow it down. Maybe it's about here. That sounds about right to me. So what we do, make a longer loop, make sure it's correct. And it sounds just about correct. So we cut everything we don't need and discard, and we keep what we do. So what I need to do now is cut it up into bits and pieces that I need to use for a sample and actually sample it so we can speed it up and we can make a beat from it. So what I'm doing is basically cutting up the pieces that I need. I've cut it into 4 chunks. We go into my AXS24, which is my sampling program. You can do it in any sampling program you're using though. They all do the same job. So we're going to go in here. We drag in our sample. We make a new group. We drag it into our group. And we make sure that the keys don't overlap when we press it. So when we play it on the keyboard, I don't want the keys to be overlapping. So we make the poly number 1, so only one key can play at a time, simple as. We save our sample. And we should. Cool. So, as you can see, we have a sample that we can build a beat with. So next, we're gonna put the sample in and then we'll put a little hi-hat pattern to it so it kind of gives it a groove. So, this is gonna be one of those. Here's one I prepared earlier ones. So, I get my hi-hat out. Would it look much better if I do it here? So you find your drum sounds, you look for a hi-hat. And you play it in. All right, cool. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna play in our hi-hat. So I'm sure you can already see where the tune's going, right? So what we need to do now is put in some drums, we'll put in some music, and we should have a nice beat going on. Simple. So, then you put the rest of your drums in, bit by bit, and you should have a little groove going on. And then the last piece we need is some music. I'll go over to the keyboard, find a sound I like, and we can do that. What I like to do is follow something that's already in the tune. So it kind of makes it feel like the sample's not all just a sample. It feels like there's at least some of your own music in there. So it feels pretty natural. So that's what I'm going to do now. Might be as simple as just putting one note of something that plays the same melody. So let's see what we can do. Tidy up the ones that were a bit wrong. So basically, all I do from here on is keep adding music, add a bass line, and I've kind of got my structure of a tune, but that's how you, pretty simply in 5 steps, make a track with a sample.